depreciating. In that case, what will happen? So definitely the increase will be more than 5%. So C is also out. The natural answer can be D. But the issue is in your exam, real exam, it may be 16.7, 11.7, like that. Increase by, instead of 5%, it can be 11.1. Then you will have trouble. Then you should know how to exactly crack this, which I am going to tell you. Next year you are supposed to pay 105. Look at the current situation. Imagine the exchange rate is €1 equals $100. Sorry, $100. No, okay, let's say, put it that way, $1 equals $1 US, 1 to 1, huh? So that is easy for you. You can think correctly. 1 to 1 basis. So this is current situation, this is future situation. In euro, the current situation and future situation. What is it? €1. Euro is what? 100. Because exchange rate is 1 to 1. Huh? We are looking at the currencies. C means current situation. Future is future. Future is future time, huh? Not our derivative future. Now this exchange rate is going to change by 0.9. Depreciate. Euro is going to depreciate. So €1, let's say there is a 10% depreciation. So instead of 1, it will be $0.9. €1 will become 0.9. So now what you are supposed to do? Your price is 100 currently, but in future it will be 105. So $105. Earlier what we did? 100 divided by 1. Exchange rate is 1. Now 105 divided by 0.9. So what will be your answer? 105 divided by 0.9 is, in euro you have to pay 116.66. After 1 year, instead of €100, your import cost will become 116.66. So what is the increase? From 100 it is going to 116.66. So 16.7% increase. You got it now? Any doubt? If you have any doubt, you should raise your hand. Current situation 1 to 1 basis. Exchange rate. Now 10% depreciation euro. So €1 means only 0.9. I have to think that way. Huh? So the landed cost is 16.7. Okay, now the next question. Question number 23. Which of the following statements support the conclusion that US dollar has gained purchasing power against Japanese yen? US dollar has gained purchasing power against Japanese yen. The inflation has been higher in the US than in Japan. The dollar is currently trading at a premium in forward market with respect to yen. Yen spot rate with respect to dollar has just fallen. studies recently published in the financial press has shed doubt about the IRP theory. It's a nonsense statement, you can cut D. US dollar has gained purchasing power. If that is the case, then can we say inflation has recently been higher in US? No, if inflation is higher in US dollar will lose purchasing power. So here US dollar has gained purchasing power. The option is now B and C. Think about it, question number 23, A, B, C, D, and E. Publish. Spot rate. So now spot rate with the rest. As per purchasing power parity, inflation is a parameter, spot rate. Forward rate is connected with the interest rate. You cannot, okay, technically if it's like that, even forward also can be at a premium, but as per our whatever we studied, if inflation, the spot rate, expected spot rate. So now spot rate with respect to dollar has just fallen. Yen will crack in the spot rate. The same can be happening also. Yen will be trading at a discount, which means dollar can be at a premium. The best answer is C. Okay, Subin? Got it? So inflation, our purchasing power parity theory, your currency will crack based on the inflation differential. If US dollar, the differential between inflation in between US dollar and Japan is 3%, it means the Japanese yen will crack by approximately 3%. So this is a function with the spot rate. So we finish that part. Now we have a small section but very important. What we will do, because if I start today, we will not reach anywhere. Again I had to start it again. We will see the accounting of foreign currency, how we do the accounting, how multinational companies consolidate the financial statements. All those we are studying only but 3 pages. So with the next class, which is on Tuesday, today is Saturday, right? The next class will be on Tuesday. And the payable, but let's look at the accounting entry level, how this transaction generates loss and gains and how we have to treat this. So let me give an example. This is the case of a multinational company. Microsoft, their stock is represented by the symbol MSFT. It is based in US. Okay, let me just draw like this. This is US. This US company got operations in many countries. India, Microsoft is there, UK is there, Japan. It's a multinational company. Now take the case of UK. UK, they registered a company, okay, and in UK their currency is, local currency is British pound. For regulatory purpose they had to put everything in local currency. They had published their financials in local currency. For example, an Indian company should publish the accounts, P&L, everything in Indian rupee, whether you operate in Japan or US. So pound is a local currency there, but UK does the business for most of the European Union territory. So euro is the currency where their operating environment is exposed to. Then there are other currencies also. So the question is, what is the functional currency for Microsoft UK? Is it pound? No, because they deal the primary economic environment. Let's say whether the business they do is the Eurozone. Let's assume. So euro is the functional currency for them. Now what about Microsoft? When they publish the financial results, everything will be in US dollar. They will consolidate all this subsidiaries. They will get the P&L and balance sheet from India, financial accounts, UK, Japan, and the team in US, they will consolidate. They report in US dollar. That is called the reporting currency. Alright? Now, what is a functional currency? It is the currency of the primary economic environment in which the entity operates. If you look at the financials of a multinational company, you will find the definition of the functional currency as per the notes of the account. Normally that is the environment, the one in which primarily generates and expends cash. Any currency other than the functional currency is termed as a foreign currency. Now there is a reporting currency, which is US dollar in our case, is a currency in which the entity prepares its financial statements. Now a company enter into a foreign currency transactions. They will buy and sell on credit, borrows, take loan or give loan. Is a party to derivative instrument, okay, one of the party. For other reason, acquire or dispose of assets or incurs or settle liability fixed in a foreign currency. You sell something, let's say your company to a division to a foreign company. Now aspects of cross-border transaction. This cross-border transaction, we are going to see how we are going to account it. The transaction are recorded at spot rate. Let's say a TCS is recording a transaction. Account receivable to sale $1 million will be recorded at today's spot rate. Now there will be gain and loss. We have seen what is the risk for TCS. When the foreign currency appreciate, it is good for them. If it depreciate, it is a loss situation. So you will look at the exchange rate at the reporting date and when you are settling also. If your functional currency is more when you are converting, definitely you will be recording a gain, which we have already seen.